Hi guys. It is play every day in May, and this week is math week. So today's game that I wanted to share with you is ColorKu. Let me pull it up here. ColorKu is just like Sudoku, but instead of numbers, it uses colors on the board. And it has been really fun. It is similar to like a solitaire game. It's nice. You can play it solitaire or you can play with someone. So this has been a fun addition to our game house. And I will show you how the board is, and then I'll talk a little bit about what's included, and then I'll go ahead and play a little so that you can see the reasoning and the logic behind the game. If you've never played Sudoku, I think it's Sudoku, maybe it's Sudoku. If you've never played, then this is going to be a new game to you. But if you've played it, then you're going to recognize this game right away. So let me show you. All right, what the game comes with is this board layout, and you'll recognize it just like Sudoku. You have a 9x9 grid, but instead of the numbers, you have colors. All right, so you have 9 colors instead of 9 numbers. The one thing about the board that I don't love, I wish they had a groove in here to keep all the spare marbles that you're not using, the little wood beads. So I just put them in a little bowl next to it. If you're playing on the carpet, we just dump them on the carpet. You can also pour them in the lid, but if I'm up on the table, it's nice to keep it right next to the board here. Okay, so you'll see this board, and I'm going to refer to it as I tell you how you kind of lay out the game. Sorry, I'm trying to... It always gives me fits right when I don't want it to. All right, in the game, you're going to get the board that you have and all of the colors that you need to be able to fill the entire 81 spots. And then you can decide what level you want to play, and that's what's really nice about this. This tells you for puzzle 1, which is the easy level, how to set up your board with the colors. Oh, and I should probably tell you the basics of Sudoku or ColorKu. Your goal is to get the 9 colors, which in this game are red, orange, yellow, dark green, light green, dark blue, light blue, dark purple, light purple. You want to get all 9 colors in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 square. There can only be one color. So on this board right now, there can only be across the row 1 red, down the row or down the column 1 red, and in this little 3x3 there can only be 1 red. So you see there's already red here. So down the row there's going to be no more reds placed in this entire column. Across this row, there could be no more reds in these empty spots and no more reds in here. So your goal is to figure out how to fill the board, putting just one of each of the 9 colors in a column, in a row, and in the grid. Okay? So that being the basics, you have a stack. It comes with like 101 of these puzzles. I'll show you here. So this tells you how to set up the board to start, and then you have to fill in the rest. That's right, Sudoku or Sudoku, however you say it, with colors. And you can progress up to extreme hard, puzzle 103 and 104. Those are your hardest. I have not attempted the extreme level. I can do the green easy level fairly easily and have started playing around with the moderate. I did try to jump right in with a challenging one, and I was like, whoa, this is challenging. So sometimes what we'll do is we'll leave it out, and then we can play it over a little while and just kind of shove it in the corner, which is why it's nice to put the balls into something if you're doing that. Okay, they're nice wooden balls, and it's a nice wooden board. It's all very sturdy. You can play it solo. I think it's meant to be solo, but I sit down with my 14-year-old before, and we've just played together, and we kind of talk out loud about our reasoning. I have a feeling I would need to help my 7-year-old with the reasoning. So exactly, Olivia, you can do it together or you can do it alone. Some people find the logic of Sudoku or ColorKu, it just comes naturally to them. I'm one of those people. Other people, it takes some practice, like they really just don't see it. I love my mother dearly. She's probably one of those people. So you just kind of have to practice and then you get it down. So here's what I'm going to show you, and I'm going to also explain why I have black dots on my wooden balls, because it does not come that way. So that's just a little trick. Oh, before I flip it around, this card. If you own regular Sudoku and you want to solve a pen and paper Sudoku puzzle, but you want to use the ColorKu board, this tells you what numbers can stand for each of your colors, and then you can convert the pen and paper version onto the ColorKu board. So wherever there's a 1, you would put a red. Wherever there's a 2, you would put an orange. And you can transfer your Sudoku puzzle onto the ColorKu board. You can solve it with the colors and then transfer it back. So it's just another way to say there can be an infinite number of ways to play, because you can also transfer a regular puzzle. So yeah, I think it is pretty cool. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off mirror image and I'm going to flip the camera around so you guys can see. All right, let me get this set up. I had it all ready, and then just like, you know, that's what happens when you go live, everything kind of changes. All right, here's a board. So it is set up based here on puzzle 1. So our goal is to fill the rest of this in using just one of each color in a row, column, and in a grid. Now what you'll notice is on these wooden balls, I have these black dots. All of the wooden balls here that I own now have a black Sharpie marker dot on them. They do not come this way. I did this because when I was trying the tough versions and I messed up, I was like, oh, I have to take them all off and start over again, because I wasn't sure which ones were the original from the card and which ones I had placed on. So the kids and I decided we would put a black dot on all the balls, and then when I set up the board with the original ones that are assigned by the puzzle, all of those I put the black dot facing up. So now if I mess up and I have to remove some during the puzzle, I know that I don't have to remove these. So it's very helpful. I'm going to see if a light will help. Okay, so now you can see those really well. So the black dots just help me know which ones I don't have to take off. If you want to get really creative, you can use them as you're placing these on, and you could like put them pointing to the right if you're not 100% sure, or pointing it at you. And if you're 100% sure, you could put it face down. So I've done that too when I'm doing some of the tougher ones. I know that the dot's facing me. I'm not 100% sure about that one. And the ones that are face down, I was 100% sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and attack the puzzle now. Here's how I do it with the colors, and everyone does it a little differently. I pick a grid. So I'm going to pick this one right here. And I look at what colors are missing. So this is how I would walk my 7-year-old through it. I say, okay, we don't have a red, so let's put a red in our hand. Okay, red, orange, yellow. We need 2 greens. Okay, we're missing one of the greens, so we put that in my hand. We're missing one of the blues, the light blue, and then we're missing the dark purple. So we would go through the 9 colors, and I put in my hand the ones that have to fit in these 4 spaces. This helps really visually to look at what you're trying to place in this grid. So I might start with the purple, and I'll say, okay, can purple go here? And we'll look up and down the column, and we're like, nope, there's already a purple here. So purple cannot go in this spot. Can purple go in this column? Nope, look, there's already a purple here. So purple cannot go here. So where does purple have to go? It has to go right here. I'm sure of it. I'll put the black dot down, and then we can double check. We don't see any reason that purple can't go there. So now I just go to the next one in my hand. How about light green? Can light green go in this spot? Well, I don't see any light green here, so we're good. And I don't see any light green going across, so light green could go here. But wait, I'll tell him, let's not put it here yet because we haven't checked everywhere else. Could light green go in one of these 2 spots? Well, when we look down the column, there's a light green. Hopefully you can see that one under the comments. It's light green, so it couldn't go here. So we can feel very sure that light green goes in this spot. Now I have 2 more in my hand. I need a light blue. Well, I can see right away there's a light blue preventing me from putting it here. So light blue has to go here, but I'm going to look around. I'm going to make sure that that works. And when I confirm it does, I put my light blue in. And then my last one is red. So I'm fairly certain it can go here, but when I put it in, I double check. Okay, there's no red across this row. There's no other red across this column. I'm good. So I now have red, orange, yellow, green, green, blue, blue, purple, purple. I filled in that grid with all the colors that are necessary. Now let's say you're playing with my 7-year-old, or I'm playing with my 7-year-old. You probably would not be. And let's say he tries to attack one that's too many, like here. There's just a lot of openings. So we put in our hand orange, yellow, light green, dark blue, light purple, and dark purple. Because of course I'm going to tell him he wants to go with ones that there's not a lot of openings. And you'll see I work in grids. Other people work in rows or columns, so I'll show you that next. But when he tries to start placing these, and let's say we go to orange. Okay, well we see orange can't go in this column because there's already orange. But it could go in this column or this column. Now it can't go in this row, but we're still left then with these 3 spots. So we have too many options for orange. So we're not going to be able to figure that out. And that's okay. That's part of the process of having them kind of look and see that it's very hard to figure it out when there's a lot of different options. This light purple could go here or here. So I'm not getting a lot narrowed down as I'm trying this one. The yellow could actually go in any of these bottom ones. I don't have anything preventing it. So we might say, okay, you know what? That's not a good square to start with. So let me show you how it would look if we did a row. So maybe we're looking around and we're like, hey, this row is only missing 2. It has red and orange. It's missing yellow. It has dark green and light green, dark blue, light blue, and it's missing dark purple, but it has light purple. So now we're just missing these 2. Well, that's really going to help me fill in this grid. So we can also play by row. So I have yellow and purple, and I can look and say, well, could yellow go here? Yes, it could, because there's nothing preventing it, but it could also go here. So based on the yellow, I'm not sure. So now I'm going to put out purple. Oh, there's a purple here. So purple cannot go here. It has to go in this spot, which means yellow has to go here. And now I have red, orange, yellow, green and green, blue and blue, purple, purple. This row is now complete. And you do that for the whole board. You can work in columns, you can work in rows, you can work in the little grids. And now I only have 4 spots left in that grid. So now I might say, okay, let's grab that orange, light green, dark blue, and light purple again. And now let's see if we could maybe figure it out. And I'm glancing real fast, and I'm seeing that no, there's still too many options for that one. There are still too many options that would work for the blue. So it hasn't really helped in this particular instance. I can't get anything else in that grid. So I would move on. This one has 4 openings. So I might try playing around here. Down here has 4. I'm looking at columns. I see a column over here that only has 3 holes. So let's try that. And that'll be the last one I'll try because I think you guys get the idea here. Red needs orange, needs yellow, has both the greens, has both the blues, it needs a light purple. And the thing I like about ColorKu is it's really nice for kids to be able to hold these in their hands. It just really helps them remember what they're trying to place in this column, whereas with the pen and paper version, you can't grab anything. There's something about holding these that just really helps you narrow down what you're trying to do. So this light purple, right away I know it can't go in this spot because there's already a light purple in this grid. So I know light purple has to be up here. And look, as I look across this row, there's a light purple. So I know it can't be here. Right away I figure out the light purple. Now I've got yellow. Yellow can't be in this bottom one because there's already a yellow in that 3x3 grid. So yellow has to be this other opening. And of course, when I'm putting it in, I'm checking to make sure I haven't messed up something else. And then our final one, orange, has to be down here at the bottom. And when I look at this grid, everything looks fine down there. So that's how you do the whole board. Now this was the easy level. So obviously it progresses and gets much harder to the point where they only give you just a few and you have to kind of go from there. And it's not easy. I'm fairly certain you have to do some guessing on these. Now the good news is, while they won't tell you step by step the logic behind them, you do have the answer key. So you can look at what you've done on board 1 and make sure that you filled it in. So I can check this grid. Of course, the first thing you have to do is, okay, my purple and red are right there. So you have to be careful because this can go in any direction if your board has switched. So you need, again, this is where those black dots are really helpful that I added onto the wooden balls here, because I know that these 2 started the game with me. In fact, these 4. So I can look for that. Sorry, you can't see this. I can look for that on my answer key. And there it is, that purple, red, blue, and green. So I know for certain that my board's facing the right way. And then I can check the one I did here. Yellow, green, purple, yellow, green, yellow, green, purple, yellow, green, purple. Orange, red, purple, orange, red, purple. Green, blue, blue, green, blue, blue. And then I know that I did it correctly. So that is the basics. That's how you play. Again, plan on working with your kids, especially if they're younger. Even though it's a solitaire game, it does take a little bit to kind of work through the logic of that game. So just be patient, make it fun. I could just leave this out now. I can just leave it out and come back and work on it later tonight. Or I could bring a kid in with me later and we could work on it together. So it's a solitaire game. It can be over time game. It can be a few people working on it. But I will say, when someone starts one, they tend to get a little bit feisty if someone else comes along and finishes it, including mommy. Who's like, wait a second, who added to my ColorKu game? Because I was working on that. All right, are there any questions about it? I'd be happy to answer them. I think right now it's actually $34.99 on the Amazon link in the name of this video. But about a week ago when I was preparing this, it was $39.99. So I'm not sure the lowest it goes. I could look that up. But right now it is $34.99, so it's about $5 off what it was last week. It's a nice game for like a birthday or Christmas. It is really solid material, so it's going to last, and that's really nice. I like games like that I know aren't going to rip and things. But it's just the little color balls you don't want to lose. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, and have fun game playing.